Hi, I'm Phyllis and my website is southernfrugal.com. Today we're going to make smoothies for a week. And I wanted to show this because I've had so many questions recently on the smoothies. Now, I've been making videos on smoothies for 4 years now. And I have changed along the way in what I do. First thing is I do not have any of the dates because I haven't gotten to Sam's Club to get them. I'm always out of them. But anyway, I don't use the little cubes anymore other than I do the oatmeal and cream of wheat together. And now this time they didn't have the whole wheat cream of wheat, so I had to get the regular. And what I do is just make them according to package directions and just fix a whole bunch of servings, cook them together, and then freeze them in a big blob on a cookie sheet. So that's what this is. Also, today we're going to put the first smoothies I'm making, I'm going to use sweet potato. And this I baked in the oven and then froze. So we'll be having that. So the other thing is for the greens. Now these are baby greens. This happens to be spinach. These are the same little containers that I wash and save to store stuff in the freezer. So here, I'm going to show you what I normally do. These, of course, the greens have been washed, but I wash them again anyway. So I just take usually about 3 big handfuls. In this case I might just use a little over 2 big handfuls. And then I'm going to fill this up with water 3 different times and wash them again just to be sure. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, so we got our greens washed, so that's the first thing I put in the beaker. Now this is a beaker that holds 64 ounces, but it usually goes up to the top, so I'd say it's really almost, I don't know, 70 ounces probably. So the other thing we're going to do this time, because I've got some celery, that towel there, so I'm going to use some celery. Now you'll never taste the celery. This is 2 stalks. I'm just going to cut them real quick. I'm going to go ahead and put those right in the top. Now, this will also work with a regular blender. You do not have to have a Vitamix to make smoothies. Lost my knife. Let's see. Get another one. Alright, so now what the purpose of the fresh oranges is they kill the taste of the greens. Now, baby spinach greens don't really have that much of a taste. Neither does the other type of baby greens. But when you get to something like kale or collards, or even some people I guess use mustard greens or even parsley, you're going to get a taste that you might not like. Now if you like the taste of those greens, that's no problem, but they definitely have a taste that you want to try to hide for most people. So the best way to do that is with fresh oranges. Now, orange juice might work for some people, but it sure doesn't work for us because I have tried that. Any kind of juice that's already processed, the enzymes are dead in it, and I can still taste the greens. So that's why I always use the fresh orange or oranges. Like in the case when I use the kale, which has got a pretty strong taste, then I always use 2 oranges. Alright, so just going to break that in half. And the reason I do this is because you got a little hard thing in there. And also, I want to know if there are any seeds, even though this is a navel orange. I guess you could grind up the seeds and they wouldn't hurt anything, but I like to make sure it doesn't have any seeds. And also take that little hard bit out that's usually in the navel oranges. So all I do is just cut them like that. And when I'm cutting them, if I hit a seed, I know I've hit a seed. So clearly there are no seeds there. Yep, there goes my dogs. Stealing. No more barking, okay? Now he's going to drink water. Huh. He's drinking water. All right, so that's the oranges. The other thing I do for most smoothies, I also use 2 bananas. Now these are organic bananas. You do have to pay more for them, but I think they taste really good. And they have been frozen in the peeling. Now I don't keep them very long, although I guess I probably kept them for 6 weeks, but I never keep them that long anymore. So you cut one end of them off. Let me see if y'all can see this. And then I just pinch this end where that little black thing is and just squeeze them like that. Now I thawed these out in a container just like this in the sink with some fairly warm water. Alright, and by the way, the sweet potato and the oatmeal and cream of wheat I thawed out in the microwave. This cream of wheat and oatmeal will thaw in about 1 minute in the microwave. And it doesn't have to be all the way thawed out, which this one is not. But by the time you get everything else in there, it will be. So that's going to go in. And then we're going to use half of the sweet potato. So I'm just going to cut that in half. Now that's still just a little bit frozen. There's what it looks like. And just take that peeling off. Check for any bad spots on it. Now those, sometimes there'll be dark places, and that's where the sugar sort of comes out of the sweet potato and kind of goes to the bottom when you're baking them. But it's definitely best to bake them rather than cook them in water so you retain all the potassium that's in them. Alright, so now put that on top. Get every little bit in there. Alright, now what do we like now? We like the other fruit that we're going to use. So I'm using 2 cups of blueberries. Now this is organic, not organic, but great value blueberries you can find in the freezer case at Walmart. And the other thing I'm going to add, again, great value pineapple chunks. And I'm just going to add a few of those in because it doesn't take many before you can taste them. If you put too many, it will taste, all you'll be able to taste is going to be the pineapple. They're very strong tasting. All right, let me get the water. Alright, so I'm using filtered water, and all I'm going to do is use enough to grind everything up. So that's probably maybe a cup and a half. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a sweetener. Now what I have always done in the past is had the dates, but I don't have any, so I'm using honey. So I'm going to use probably about 4 tablespoons to sweeten this, because number 1 rule, the smoothie has got to taste good. If it doesn't taste good, you will not continue to have smoothies, I know. Alright, so we're ready to grind this up now. Set everything aside. I'm going to add the blueberries after it's ground up a bit and kind of goes down. And the sound you hear outside is our garbage men picking up garbage this morning. That truck making that, the bell rings on it. All right, here we go. Hold on, it's going to be loud. some, so we're going to go ahead and add our blueberries now. So we've got everything else in. Of course, the blueberries are still frozen. There we go. Set that aside. All right, now we're going to grind it up until everything gets smooth. Oh, that light's kind of reflecting. I don't think you can see. Anyway, we're going to have to go ahead though. Here we go. I'm just going to stir it around a little bit in the top. Make sure everything gets down in there. And I'm going to taste of it at the same time. Okay, tastes like blueberries and pineapple. All right, we're going to just mix it just a little bit longer. That's about all we need. All right, now I will be freezing these. And I do this because I'm not much of a morning person, and all I have to do in the mornings is get up, take the smoothie pack out of the freezer and put it down again in one of these containers. I actually use the larger container, fill it up with fairly warm water, pretty well hot really, and it'll thaw out in about 20 minutes. All right, so I'm going to label these, and all I really do is label them with the main content, which in this case is blueberry, pineapple, and sweet potato. And the date, I got to ask Mr. Bucky. Bucky! Mr. Bucky,
yeah.
What's the date?
Date?
Is it the 5th?
It's the 4th, isn't it?
No.
Oh, yes, I guess it is the 5th.
He doesn't know either. I'm going to just write it. It's the 5th, okay. So that's what I do there. And then do the same for this one. Because the main taste is going to be blueberry, pineapple, and sweet potato. Now, you're not going to taste the celery at all, nor are you going to taste the greens at all. The only thing you're going to taste is the blueberry, pineapple, and sweet potato, and it will be sweet because I added the honey. So we've been having this particular one for quite some time. We love it. We have this type sometimes once or twice a week. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is try to pour half in one bag and half in the other bag. Let's see if I can do that. Looks like about half. And I use these pans with a little edge on them so nothing runs over. And pour the other half in this one. This is pretty liquidy, so pretty much all of it comes right out. Set that aside, and now I want to get, well, y'all couldn't totally see that. Let me turn this down. So what I'm going to do is, actually I dropped a little bit. Let's find out where that is. Okay. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it down and get as much of the air out as I can, like that. There. And you notice while I was working, this one did not spill out because I've got a little edge on this pan. So I'll do the same thing on this one. Turning it down like that. Just trying to get as much of the air out as possible. All right, so there you go. So here's 2 days worth of smoothies. And once it's frozen on the sheet, I just take them and stack them all up on one shelf of the freezer. And I do it in these pans because I can put it on top of anything I've got in the freezer. All right, y'all, we'll be back in just a minute. We're going to get prepared to make the next smoothies. All right, I went ahead and fixed this one off camera just for the sake of time. But this one is mango, and it's got kale, fresh kale, half the sweet potato, 2 cups of mango, 2 stalks of celery, and ginger. I put about 4 slices of the ginger in there, 2 bananas, and peanut butter and honey. And it made a really big batch. Let's see if I can get it in the bags now. Pour about half of it in each bag. And get that bag turned around so it doesn't spill out. Go ahead and fill this bag up. Now I'm not really washing the little beaker in between, I'm just rinsing it out. Alright. So this one's got about 4 tablespoons of peanut butter and about 4 tablespoons of honey. Don't want it to come out. I'm getting all that air out of it. Alright, so there it is. Got now 2 servings in each bag, so this will cover 2 days. Alright, we're going to get the stuff out for the next one and we'll be back. Alright, this video had gotten to be way too long, so we had to cut it short. But here are the days for the smoothies, and we're a couple of days later, so we got 2, 4, 6 in there. And that's the way I store them, kind of stacked up. That way they don't take so much room in my freezer. Alright, y'all, I hope this will help some of y'all. Again, I didn't record the rest of it because I actually made 8 days worth of smoothies. So we will see y'all next time. Bye for now.